class. So you finished up with your other part, and then you're now on the cash. So I want you to write for me the advantages and disadvantages of cash. Well, an advantage of cash is every store takes cash. Another advantage would be you know how much you have. Easy to so you know how much money you have to spend. And then another advantage would be there are no fees, right? We talked about fees earlier. A disadvantage is if you lose it, you can't get it back. Okay. If you only have a certain amount of money, what are you going to do for emergencies? So you may run out of money. And have an emergency. And then another disadvantage is that it's hard to keep up with, right? Kind of hard to keep up with. All right. So you are going to, so that's going to be the last stack there. The next piece that you're going to do is take this sheet that says deposit, withdrawal, gross. You're going to cut these just down the middle and cut them apart. And then you're going to match up the definition with the name and then put them in the correct order. So you're going to pause the video, cut them, put them in the correct order, and then I will bring the video back up to show you the correct order that you're going to put those in your notebook as well. So pause the video, cut them, and then put them in the order that you believe they go in. All right, so your order, I have payroll tax, and there's the definition. Sales tax, there's the definition. Income tax, the definition. Property tax. So those are my 4 taxes that I've learned. Okay. Then when it comes to income, I have gross income, net income. Then I could have a debit card or a credit card, and then what a deposit and what a withdrawal is. So I want you to, we're going to glue those into our notebook. So we're going to start with gluing these into, we're going to glue everything that we need to in our notebook, and then we'll get back to gluing this correctly. So I am going to move this out of the way and then put everything in order the way that we need to glue it. All right, so in your table of contents, I would like you to write the note, or so today's date is 10/20. And we are going to write gross and net income. That was our first set of notes, gross and net income. That is going to go into the notes section. And then whatever page you're on. The next thing we're going to glue in today is going to be our balanced budget. And that's going in the notes section as well. Okay, so flip over to whatever page you're on in your notes. Okay, I'm going to start right here. So I'm on page 21, 20, and I'm going to glue in my notes that look like this, gross and net income. A little bit of glue, don't need a lot. Glue that in. On the page right beside it, I'm going to glue in my balanced and simple budget notes. So that's on page 20 and 21 for me. So I'm going to go write that down in my table of contents, page 20 and 21. I'm going to go back to my notes section. And I am going to glue in, how will I pay for it? I want you to start with your check and then cash. I know that's not the order we did them in, but that's the order I want them glued in. Okay, so glue those in. Checks and then cash. And then the next one I want you to glue in is debit and then credit. Okay, so in the front, in my table of contents, I'm going to write today's date. And how will I pay is the title. How will I pay? And that's in the notes section. And for me, it goes from page 22 to page 25. So there's several of them, right? All right, so I'm going to write that in. And then the next thing I'm going to put in is going to be my finance vocabulary. So 1020 finance vocabulary. And that's going to be in the notes section because I'm gluing it in. And then it's going to be on page 26 for me. Okay, so I'm going to start with the 4 taxes, and I'm going to glue in. I only need a little bit of glue. The word, so I should have my 4 taxes. So payroll tax and its definition. The total tax an employer withholds from an employee's paycheck. I'm going to glue in sales tax. Remember, this is the shirt our daughter wanted to buy. So payroll tax, a tax added to the cost of your service or something you want to buy. We all pay a sales tax. Income tax, a tax paid on an amount of money you earn. That's what when you own your business or at the end of the year, by April 15th, your parents either pay in or get back some income tax, depending on how much they paid in. Okay. Property tax. This is the tax you pay when you own a car or a house or land. You have to pay tax on that. So we're gluing that in. Not upside down. All right, and I'm going to skip just a little bitty space, and I'm going to put my 2 types of income. So gross income before the deductions are taken out. That's at the top of the basketball goal. Then we have net income. This is after taxes. This is after it's gone through the basketball net. So it's the income left after. This is the money you actually get to spend on bills or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to end my page there, and then I'm going to come over to this side and talk about the ways to pay. So I could use a debit card, which we did the advantages and disadvantages of all these already. And a debit card is issued by the bank, and whenever you use it, you're taking the money out of your account. You're using your own money when you're using your debit card. A credit card is the next one. It's not your money you're using. You're borrowing money, and you're going to pay interest on that money. So a credit card. You want to be real careful about using credit cards. Your debit card is your own money. You don't want to have to pay more. And then just to know that a deposit is money you put in the bank, and a withdrawal is money you take out of the bank. Okay, so that's what that looks like right there, my notebook. All right, I'm going to put this aside, and then I want you to, at this point, you will go to my round table and pick up the lesson check, which looks like this. We are going to do these first two on each side together, just so you're understanding what you're doing. So we'll do 6 and 7 is the ones we're looking at right now. So Pillar has a plan for her budget. For every $10 she saves, she will budget $4 for savings, $4 on her regular expenses, and $2 for a special purchase. If her income is $64,000 per year, how much does she budget for a special purchase? Well, Pillar has a plan for her budget. For every $10 she earns, so I need to find out how many $10 are in her income for the year. So to do that, so my RIBS is, how much does she budget for a special purchase? How much budgeted for special purchase? Maybe she's taking a trip or she's buying a new car or something. Okay. Important information is for every $10 earned, how much will go to that special purchase? Well, it says right here, $2 equals $2. I'm going to put the money sign, special. All right, and then she earned a total of $64,000. So to solve that, first I need to find out how many $10 are in that. So I'm going to divide. And then I'm probably going to multiply. So let's see if that works. All right, so 64,000 divided by $10. Well, 10 doesn't go into 6, but it goes into 64 6 times. That gives me 60. It leaves me with 4. Bring down a 0. 10 goes into 44 times. 4 times 10 is 40. Leaves me with 0. And here's what I know. I can keep dropping down those zeros, but I just know it's going to be zeros up here until I get to the wall. Okay, so 6,400. So if she is going to spend $2 for every 10, all right, I know that there are 6,400 $10 bills, right, in her money. So I'm just going to take this number, 6,400. I'm going to multiply it by $2. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 6 is 12. So she's going to spend $12,800 on her special purchase. Which statement is true about Mr. Simmons' monthly budget? His budget is balanced when his monthly expenses equal the total income for the month. Well, that seems to be true because equal is balanced, right? His budget is balanced when the total monthly expenses are greater than. No, that wouldn't be balanced. His budget is balanced when total income is greater than expenses. Well, that's a good thing, but it's not balanced. His budget is balanced when his weekly expenses are less than his monthly expenses. No, so true. Be right there. All right. So on these right here, you are going to use this chart and answer these questions. Be very careful about the questions. All right, flip it over. Let's look at this one right here. The chart shows Micah's finances during the first week in May. He earns $25 for babysitting on May 8th. Okay, so May 8th, he earned $25. And then he buys a book on May 12th for $9.49. How much does Micah have available now? So here's what we know. He purchased, he has, so in his balance, so May 7th, this is how much money he had left, okay? Because he received this $15 for allowance, so he received it. He spent this, so he subtracted it out, and this is what he has left. Okay, well then what's going to happen? On May 8th, he's going to earn money for babysitting. Okay, and he earned $25. I'm just adding it on to the bottom of my check, or the bottom of my graph here, my budget. And so I'm going to add $25 onto this, and now he has $27.05. But then he buys a book on May the 12th. So on 5/12, he's going to buy a book for how much? $9.49. So then I've got to subtract that $9.49 from here to find out what he would have left, what funds are available. So I can't take 9 from the 5. I come over to borrow. This becomes a 6. Let me come over here and subtract this correctly. 2705 minus 949. So I borrow. This is 6. This is 9. This is 15. So it's going to give me 6. 9 minus 4 is 5. Bring my decimal down. I can't take 9 from 6. I borrow. That becomes 16. That's the 1. 9, 10. So 7. And then 1. So he has $17.56 left. Okay, so again, I could just add on. This is what the money's going in. This is good. This is money he's receiving. This is expenses. This is money he's spending. Okay, so that's how you're going to read those charts when you answer these questions. All right, so when you're done with this, you're going to turn it into the bucket, and we'll have our ticket out the door.